Hey guys, what's going on? Tackle Junkie 81 here for Mystery Tackle Box. And today I'm going to show you guys the difference between flipping and pitching and the benefits of each. With pitching, the gear is not as critical because really you can pitch anything. You can pitch a drop shot, you can pitch a shaky head. In this case, we're pitching a jig. That's the lumberjack flipping jig and the 𝗙𝗲𝗋𝗶𝗹 toss. Nice little compact combo there. But like I said, you can pitch anything. You just need to make sure that you match the line and rod to whatever bait that you choose, and of course the cover that you're fishing around. You see more guys pitch versus flip, but even when they're pitching, they're calling it flipping, and there really is a difference between the two, and there's a time and a place for both. Now both more or less are close quarters fishing. Okay, you're not too far from the target or possibly where the bass is going to be. So you're up close, and being that you're up close, the equipment in flipping is more critical than it is in pitching, and I'll explain that. But with flipping, you're not actually pressing the thumb bar. You're just going to control the line with your hand, however much line that you can control, which again, I'll get into that in a second. But again, it's close quarters fishing. Typically you see guys flip when you have, let's say a grass mat, lily pad, something like that. And again, you're looking for that quiet entry, that quiet presentation is what you're more or less what you're looking for. If you cast a half-ounce jig out there, you're gonna have a big splash, could possibly spook the fish. So with flipping and pitching, again, you're looking for that nice, soft, quiet entry so you don't spook the fish. That being said, when you're flipping, you're much closer to the fish than, let's say, pitching or casting. So you need to be a little more stealthy when you're flipping. So if you are flipping from a boat, you don't want to be off and on your trolling motor a lot. Even if you're walking the banks, you don't want to be making a lot of noise in the brush and things like that. Again, just because you are much closer to the fish. A few key components for flipping. For one, you have to keep in mind you're much closer to the fish. And again, you're probably flipping around grass mats, lily pads, something like that. This pond in particular, in a month or so here, it'll have a nice thick mat along the bank here. So it's perfect to walk along the bank and flip on the outside of that mat. Again, there are some pretty big fish in here. You have a nice thick mat. You need to use the right gear to get the fish out of that mat. Okay, and again, since you're so close to the fish, you don't have a lot of line out to absorb any shock. So if you are using, let's just say 10-pound mono or 10-pound fluorocarbon, 10 foot from you, and you hook into a 10-pound, not even 10 pounds, say you hook into a 5-6 pound fish, 3-4 pound fish, really doesn't even matter. If you're hooking into a decent sized fish, only 10 foot from you, and you set the hook on them pretty good, there's not enough stretch in that line because you don't have that much out to absorb the shock. So in this situation, in this technique, you need to use a little bit heavier line. I like to use braid if I'm around grass. If I'm around wood, I'll go with fluorocarbon. Braid and wood, they don't really work that well together. If braid wraps around the brush or the wood, you pull on it, it just gets snagged up. You got to go in there and get it. So I usually like braid around grass, fluorocarbon around wood. But again, that being said, when you're, this close to the fish, you do need to use a little heavier pound test. If I'm going to flip with fluorocarbon, normally, 17, 20 pound, or I use 50-pound braid. That being said, if you're using that heavier line, you need to make sure you got the right rod, because if you got your drag locked down using 50-pound braid, again, 10, 15 foot from you, and you jack a good, 5-6 pounder, and the rod is not rated for, that type of power, you're going to snap your rod. So again, the right equipment is critical for this close quarters type of technique, flipping. So again, I have a 7.6 heavy power rod here. I have an 8:1 gear ratio reel, 50-pound braid, and we're using the lumberjack flipping jig, 1/2 ounce with the 𝗙𝗲𝗋𝗶𝗹 chunk. Okay. Now, like I said earlier, having a longer rod allows you to get a little further reach, allows you to handle the line a little bit better. So this rod being 7.6, normally I'll pull it out, 8-9 foot. You can see there the line is a couple feet below the butt of the handle here, okay? Normally that's what I flip with. So again, you're not going to engage the thumb bar there. You're going to grab the line above the reel, okay? Just like that. And And this is where the longer rod comes in. This allows you to handle a little bit more line. So you grab the line above the reel, okay? Then you get the momentum of the weight swinging back and forth, a little bit of wrist action, okay? Like that. You want to be a little more subtle with it. Just looking for a nice, quiet, soft entry. Try and keep the bait kind of parallel with the water. Then you're just going to go back and forth. You know, flip your mats, your spot, or if there's holes in the mats, whatever it is that you're flipping, just work the jig there, bring it up, move on to the next spot. Work your jig, again, move on to the next spot. So that is flipping. Again, pretty straightforward, just using the momentum of the weight, the rod, a little bit of wrist action to get the bait out there. All right, guys, with pitching, gear is not as critical because really you can pitch anything. You can pitch a drop shot, you can pitch a shaky head, you can pitch, again, a jig like I have here. But again, you can pitch anything. So just match your gear to your bait, to your cover, and things like that, okay? Again, in this case, I'm pitching a jig, so I am using 50-pound braid. And as far as rod goes, okay, for me, pitching, I'm way more accurate with a shorter rod. So for me, I'm not going as long as I do flipping. I'm going with a 7-foot heavy power rod. Again, I got 50-pound braid on here, so I'm matching, you know, the jig to the rod to the line. Again, we got a 7-speed reel here. Okay, so 50-pound braid. Again, you can pitch anything you want. It's all in technique, and the same deal as flipping. Okay, you're looking for that softer entry. Again, you're not trying to spook the fish, but you'll get a little more distance pitching versus flipping. It's not a cast. Again, it's just a soft pitch, just to get you a little more distance again versus the flip. But same type of deal, but you are going to be pushing the thumb bar. You'll be letting that line, but the key deal with pitching is your thumb. Your thumb is the brake, so you need to control the line with your thumb. I like to keep my tension knob pretty loose, so I got a pretty fast fall here, because if you don't have it loose enough when you pitch, your bait is going to go up. Okay, so to keep it, you know, low to the water, nice soft entry, you need to have it a little bit loose, and then again, just control the line with your thumb. So again, I like to have the bait kind of right above my reel. If you have it too low, it's going to give you problems. If you have it too high, it's going to give you problems. Right around the reel is pretty much a good spot to keep it. Now just watch when you grab your lure, okay, that you don't obviously get a hook in your hand. But I just kind of balance it in my hand, okay, just like that, okay. Nice soft pitch. It didn't even splash when it hit the water. And again, the better you get, you can loosen up that tension knob and really get a nice far pitch, you know, a nice soft entry. That's what you're looking for. But again, just grab the jig right above the reel. Nice soft pitch. And again, it's all in the wrist. Again, I like to turn my wrist to the side, a little more freedom of movement there. Just trying to keep it close to the water, kind of parallel with the water. Again, looking for that nice, soft entry. You know, something like this it's great to practice in the wintertime when you're froze over like I am, you know, get some buckets, get some little coffee cups and things like that. You can do it in your house. Heck, I even do it around the Christmas tree. I'll try and, you know, pitch and flip underneath the Christmas tree and just having fun and things like that. But you can set up buckets, set up targets, and really get some good aim. That way when you're on the water, you know, you can pitch, you know, precise to that stump, right to that lay down brush, whatever it is, and you know, be right on the fish. So again, it's something that you can just play around with while you're at home, when you can't be fishing, go in your yard, have a little, you know, little tournaments with your buddies, who can pitch better, you know. But definitely a cool technique. Definitely there's a time and a place to pitch and flip, and it'll definitely benefit you to learn both techniques and get good at it. So anyways, guys, that is the difference between flipping and pitching and the benefits of each. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Smash the thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys on the next one.